Fab 5 football returns with Week 6 fixtures. Another 12 games to show you this week in the highlights video, with all games available on your screen right now. But as per usual, let's dive into the team lineup for Week 6. Starting off with Parmesan Belgrade. Parmesan Belgrade have a 6-man team available, including Martin, captain, Chucky, Jordan, Callum, Stuart and Paddy, all available for Parmesan Belgrade, who have had an upturn in success compared to last season and sit currently battling in second place, trying to go for that top spot. Next up, Flaberdeen, previous title champions, having a bit of a rough time this week, not helped with only having 2 core players available this week. Sean and Jamie from their standard roster lineup available only, with Zach, Josh, Ross and Johnny all coming in from the commissioner squad to help out Flaberdeen at the bottom of the table currently. Scrandinavia, last season's champions, having a bit of a mixed bag, winning one week, losing the other week, but a decent lineup this week with Lewis captain, Ian, Matthew, Ryan, Mike, Chris and Barry all available from the roster. Chopper does make an appearance after game 2, and you'll be able to see why later on in the video. O.B City lineup for week 6. Willie captain available this week with Lenny, Lewis, Craig, Matthew, Stevie and Lewis coming in from the commissioner squad to boost up their numbers. O.B City having a good solid season, but they'll be looking that they want to push on further up in the table after being sitting around midway for most of it. Rapid Viennetta keeping Flaberdeen a little bit of company at the bottom there, but currently have a bit of a gap on them. Cal's got Niall, Mark, Jack and James all from the regular roster available. David comes from Commissioner squad. Chopper also makes an appearance on game 1, and once again you'll be able to see that further on in the video for the reason for the team switch later on. Fatburn Rovers now, who have been sitting in the glorious positions at the top of the table for the majority of season 9 so far. Sean, Mitchell, John, James, Timber all available, with Captain Terry unavailable again this week. Ross comes in from the commissioner squad to give them a 6-man team this week. Ivory Toast have been battling away, going a little bit up and down in the league, but they seem to be having a bit of a steady season overall, you would have to say. Captain Greg available this week, with Paul, Boother, Liam, David and MJ all coming in from the regular roster lineup. And Mark coming in from the commissioner squad, making his debut at Fat 5 football this week. Final lineup for you is Bayern Bru. Bayern Bru have a fantastic attendance record so far this week, even with their captain Roscoe unavailable again this week. Colin, Craig, Paul, Gareth, Leaps, Cheesy, Taylor, Ash and Martin F all available this week as they look to push on and try to get further up that league table. And speaking of that league table, a quick look before the games kick off. Fatburn Rovers top on 31, with Parmesan Belgrade on 28 in second. O.B City and Ivory Toast both on 24 but split by goal difference. Bayern Bru on 23, Scrandinavia 21, Rapid Viennetta 16 and Flaberdeen bottom with 9. First game available this week sees Parmesan Belgrade versus Scrandinavia. Parmesan Belgrade in white, shooting left to right. Scrandinavia in red, shooting right to left. And early on there, Scrandinavia with the opportunity to get forward, but unfortunately unable to take anything from it. But they are coming forward again. This time is Ryan squaring it across to Matthew. Matthew gets a shot away, but a good save there by Martin. And eventually it's cleared away for Parmesan Belgrade to get the ball under control. A little bit of a battle on the opposite side there. Stuart coming away with the ball against Lewis, and the shot just wide of the goal there, unfortunately for Parmesan Belgrade. But Scandinavia looking lively in this match as they look to try and pick up some points after a bit of a mixed bag season. A cross ball there, not quite reaching its intended target, and now Paddy has the ball for Parmesan Belgrade. Squares it over to Jordan. Jordan now with the shot, and there's Jordan with the opening goal in this match for Parmesan Belgrade there. A bit of a routine setup between Paddy and Jordan after recent weeks. Jordan there with a shot. Matthew tried to come across and can block the shot there. Barry guessing the wrong way, diving to the right when the goal headed into the left. So 1-0 to Parmesan Belgrade as Paddy there quickly gets his hand out of the way, and Ryan comes forward, and Ryan with a quick reply there from Scrandinavia. They'll be delighted to get back into this game already after going a goal down. Nice little pass there from Ian into the middle of the pitch, and Ryan just slots that into the back of the net there to give Scrandinavia the equalising goal, and Parmesan's lead not lasting too long in this match. So Parmesan Belgrade coming forward once again as Jordan takes the shot, and the save there from Barry to deny them there. Now, a quick note here, Ian has gone off for Scrandinavia in this match with an injury and was unable to play the rest of the game. So Scrandinavia down a player for the rest of these fixtures as Parmesan Belgrade's captain Martin in goals, making that save there against Scrandinavia as Chris comes forward for them now. Chris, nice little back heel to Ryan. Ryan with the shot, and Martin once again with the save to clear it away, and Lewis unable to get anything on that rebound for the second opportunity there. Parmesan Belgrade playing this ball around now as they have the opportunity to Scandinavian half, but Barry there with the save, and Ryan plays it back to him there. Ryan now looking to get things started for Scandinavia, plays it across to Lewis. Lewis now back to Ryan, and eventually it gets stuck in the Scandinavian half. Parmesan Belgrade looking to meet it there. The ball across though does not meet its target there. Paddy's coming forward now. Parmesan. Paddy with the shot, and Paddy with the second goal there for Parmesan Belgrade. Bit unlucky for Scandinavia here. A long ball up to Captain Lewis, and it didn't quite land on its target there, and Paddy took full advantage of that push forward and then slotted it away with a great finish from Paddy there to make it 2-1 in this match now to Parmesan Belgrade as the ball just gets caught under Mike's feet as he looked to try and get away there, and Chucky on the pitch now looks to take advantage of that nice little pass back to Chucky there, and Chucky almost losing his footing there with the ball, but he plays it across to Jordan. Jordan, middle of pitch, pushing forward. Jordan with a shot, saved, but the second ball lands back at him, and unfortunately there for Scrandinavia, for Barry, Jordan is Johnny on the spot with that and slots it away. Good save there from Barry, but unfortunately the ball just goes straight back to the feet of Jordan, and Jordan makes no mistake in slotting that into the back of the net to make it 3-1 in this game now to Parmesan Belgrade. Scrandinavia now up into the Parmesan half, but unfortunately unable to make anything from it. So Parmesan Belgrade here with a 2-goal lead against Scandinavia. The ball's intercepted though by Chris. Can Chris slot that away? It's inches away from going into the back of the net there, unfortunately, for Chris and Scrandinavia. That would have been a great way back into the game, but not to be, as Parmesan come forward, and Chucky at the back post there, slotting that ball away, and Parmesan extending their lead here. A nice ball across the box there. Barry can't quite get across. No interception there from Chris at the back post, and Chucky is able to put that ball away to make it 4-1 in this match, and Parmesan Belgrade look like they are cruising in this game now. Mike looking to play that forward, but not quite finding the teammate there, and it goes all the way back to Martin in goals, who looks to get his team underway once again. The ball there at the feet of Paddy. Paddy long ball up to Chucky. It stayed out of the goalkeeper's box. Parmesan Belgrade using the wall, but it doesn't quite land. And Matthew looking to play to Chris. Chris left that ball well. Looked like he had a break on there, but unfortunately for him, Paddy was covering back there. Jordan there with the ball at feet. Jordan, nice little turn, takes the shot away and finds the bottom corner with two defenders pressing him there. That is a great finish there. A lovely ball up to there. Almost lost it. Nice little turn away. Makes it a little yard space there, and then puts it into the bottom corner. Barry having no chance there. He probably thought he was going to go wide. It was almost on that trajectory, but for the luck of Jordan and Parmesan Belgrade, it hits off the inside of the post there. Now, in between the highlights, Matthew has sustained an ankle injury and has been ruled out for the rest of the fixtures for Scandinavia this week. So Scandinavia now are 4 goals behind and are down to only 5 players for the rest of this match. So there'll be no more substitutions for them, and they'll be absolutely dead on their feet, you would think, by the end of this match. As the ball's loose there, and Callum puts that ball away for Parmesan Belgrade to make it 5-goal lead, a 6-1 scoreline. Mike unable to get that ball under control there, and Callum takes full advantage on the edge of the box and slots it past Barry in goals to make things even worse for Scandinavia in this game, losing 2 players to injury who are out for the rest of the fixtures and are down another goal in this match. Lewis now trying to spur on his team forward, plays a long ball up to Ryan. Ryan looking to cut in but can't make anything from that. Scandinavia looking to try and get something from this game. They do have a goal, so they have scored as Lewis takes the shot there, but it just goes round the back of the goals there. A great ball there from Ryan, but Lewis unable to convert. As I was saying, Scandinavia do have a goal, so this isn't a total absolute granny-in, as you would call it. As Barry there kicks that ball away, the referee gives the penalty, and you have to say that was Very unnecessary there. You can see the edge of it. He's got a defender back, and Barry clear as day out the box there, decides to hook that ball away. I think that's a little bit of frustration coming out from all the players there. It was the defender coming back there. Chucky slots the penalty away. Nice little dink there after a bit of a stutter before it, but it goes in the back of the net. Completely legal, you can see there. Foot not came forward, standing leg straight, so still counts as the one-step penalty there. And it's 7-1 now to Parmesan Belgrade. They have demolished Scrandinavia. Although again, it has to be said, has to be reminded, they've lost 2 players, Scrandinavia, in this match. 2 long-term injuries, and so they are a bit at a disadvantage in this match as the ball's been all the way back to the goalkeeper. Chucky intercepts, so the quick ball out. Chucky with the show up, but Barry makes the save there. Potentially, you could say, make it up for the mistake of the quick kick out there. A long ball up, finds that Paddy there. Lovely takedown from there, and what a finish from Paddy. That's a brilliant bit of play there from Parmesan Belgrade. Stewart with the ball all the way through there. Paddy takes that down with the right foot there cleanly, and then just slots that past Barry in goals. Great goal from Paddy there. He'll be chuffed with that one. 8-1 now is the scoreline, in Scandinavia will definitely not get anything out of this game. But Chris will walk away with another goal to his name straight from kickoff there. Played back to Lewis there. Lewis sends it back to Chris, and Chris just on the turn there finds the bottom corner past Martin in goals to make it 8-2. Not that that will make any massive difference to the end outcome of this game, but at least that gives Scandinavia another goal that they can add to the tally there, as Parmesan Belgrade will just look to see this game out and walk away with another set of 3 vital points. Mike there, nice little touch and run. He's actually found himself a bit of space. Chucky not quite catching up to the play there. Probably a little bit complacent, you have to say, with this lead. It's in the corner. It comes all the way back to Ryan. Ryan from about halfway finds Lewis. Oh, that's a very clever finish there from Lewis. Nice little back heel there after the ball went all the way towards him there. And then he just does, it's not quite the back heel, but it's a nice little flurry of a finish. We will definitely say that for him there. And the captain gets something for his team there to give them a little bit of hope coming away from this game. But it's still 8-3, and this is going to be a bit of a psychological beating as well, considering they've got 2 more games. It's never nice to lose your opening game so heavy. As Chris is on the ball here, and there's a slip, and the opportunity is there, and the save from Martin. Well saved there by Martin in goals, and the Parmesan Belgrade players will be delighted that they've managed to keep a bit, or quite a bit, of the large lead available going into the last bits of this game. An opportunity here maybe, but it's gone away from Parmesan all the way back. Full-time whistle, 8-3 to Parmesan Belgrade. Match number 2 of week 6 sees Rapid Viennetta versus Bayern Bru. Rapid Viennetta in orange, shooting left to right. Bayern Bru in purple, shooting right to left on your screens. Martin there for Bayern Bru with the ball at his feet, looking to dance and jig his way through the midfield there, but he finds Paul as he plays it wide, and the save there from James in goals denies Bayern Bru the early chance in this game. Martin with the ball at feet, wins it well past Martin all the way through, takes a shot and just over there, and Jack, well, what a save from Craig. Jack's shot might have been heading to the higher side of the goal there, but full credit to Craig in goals for Bayern Bru there. Massively makes a huge difference there with that diving save. It actually makes a massive difference to Bayern Bru. You have to see now that he's back in after a number of weeks of being absent from the team. It's helped them massively to have his goalkeeping prowess there available. Paul coming forward for Bayern Bru, and the shot just wide seconds, and James there with the save. And as much compliments I give to Craig for Bayern Bru, compliments have to be given in the same to James for Rapid Viennetta, as the save at one end has led to the opportunity at the other, and Jack has converted there. Bit of luck there with a bounce against the boards there, but Jack uses that to his advantage, takes the shot from distance, and it slips past Craig into the back of the net there. And Rapid Viennetta there with the goal to take the lead in this match. 1-0 the score line now, and they look to come forward once again with that advantage of having the opening goal. Cal there, maybe a little bit squished there between Taylor and Cheesy there, but referee waves play on. Ash now with the ball at feet, coming forward, going past Cal, but it's intercepted. But Martin picks up the second ball now, and Bayern Bru still have it at their feet. Ivory looking to come forward, Mark with the shot, and it is converted, and both goalkeepers now have conceded a goal in this match. Ash on the far side with the ball. Cal tried to make the tackle there, but the leg dangling out. It's gone past him there and into the feet of Martin, and Martin with a cool, calm finish just slotted into the bottom corner there to make it 1-1 in this match. Rapid coming forward now, finding Jack. Their goal, sorry, that's Mark on the other side, not Jack. Apologies for the mix-up there. As the ball comes all the way over to Gareth. Gareth with the ball at feet. Gareth with the shot. Oh, what a finish there from Gareth. From distance there, takes that ball and kills it there with that first touch, and then Jack comes across to try and apply a bit of pressure, but Gareth there just shoots across it, right across the on-running Martin and past Cal in defence there, and it finds the bottom corner. James left to just watch that ball hit the back of the net, and it's 2-1 to Bayern Bru. A quick comeback to take the lead in this game for the boys in purple, as Rapid look to come forward now, but the ball just wide of the goal there, and unfortunately unable to get that equalising goal that they still hunt for now. Bayern Bru looking to restart with the goalkeeper. Long ball up to Cheesy as Cheesy goes to go find it there, and he just with the off-screen action now, the ball comes back to Coco there, but he's lost it to Jack. But there is Leaps there to clean up as Leaps takes a shot. Oh, and it's in the back of the net for what it looked like a bit of a recovery clean-up job there from Leaps after the ball got loose round about the feet of Coco. He decides to hit it from distance there. Such a shot, and then just ends in the back of the net. Then once again, James is just stuck there watching the ball hit the back of the net, unfortunately for him. And it's 3-1. Bayern Bru have completely turned this game around and got themselves a 2-goal lead in this match. Roscoe looking on from home, injury bound there, will be delighted as the ball. Well, the save from James, good initially, but unfortunately nobody reacting quick enough in the Rapid Viennetta defence, and the ball lands straight at the feet of Cheesy at the edge of the box and just calmly slots that in the goal past James there. And it is now 4-1 to Bayern Bru. The game getting away from them. Well, actually, it's not 4-1 for long, because Jack has just hit back straight after the kickoff. Cal hitting a long ball there. You could tell him to make that move. You see the arm there. Tell him to make that run. And Jack on the end of that. Great pass there from Cal. Good finish there from Jack, and that is a second goal for Rapid Viennetta. So 4-2 now. Goals galore in this game as Gareth's shot there is blocked. I say goals galore. Obviously, our game before this one had much higher set of goals, but it's still a big back and forth in this match. Bayern Bru looking to come forward now, switching it over to Cheesy. Cheesy now has got options with Coco, but he looks to use Gareth. Gareth now with the shot. Hit with Venom and bounces off the backboard. Unfortunately, nobody able to get on that now. Chopper on the pitch now for Rapid Viennetta to help them out with numbers in this game. As Coco's a chance in front of goals, but he's just skiffed it wide, and the header there from Leaps not on target. And now Rapid look to get away, but are closed down there. Cal now with the ball at feet. Cal up against Coco there, looks to find a teammate, but can't. And Gareth now through one-on-one with James. The shot, great save there from James. The big hand comes out there to deny Gareth the opportunity, and they look to restart once again. Cal looking to find Chopper. Chopper now has got some options, looks to play in Mark. Mark now takes the shot. Good save there from Craig at the near post. Craig not letting himself be beat by the shot at the near post there. Bayern Bru starting again as the ball goes out to Paul, and then it's intercepted there by Nell. Mark has the chance now. Mark through and goal, takes a shot. Good save once again by Craig, denying Mark another opportunity there. Niall in the corner looks to play it now as Rapid Viennetta up in the Bayern Bru half. Chopper uses the wall, eventually finds Jack. Jack does get that ball under control, and they play it all the way back to goalkeeper to look to restart again. James long ball up the Chopper. Chopper the first time pass, but it hasn't hit the target. Martin's got it for Bayern Bru and finds Paul. Lovely pass. Paul with the finish there, and that is a great counter attack there from Bayern Bru. Unfortunately, the pass from Chopper not finding Niall. Then Martin wins that ball. Lovely little pass onto the unrunning Paul through on goal, and Paul just slots that ball away. Brilliant bit of play there from Bayern Bru, and it's now 5-2 in this match. Rapid Viennetta behind now with 3 goals, and they're going to have to come forward and get a goal quickly if they're going to try and get back into this. Mark back heel there, but has lost it out to Martin. Martin now through on goal now, past Niall, plays it to Paul, and Paul gets a second goal in a row. James unable to get anything stronger on the shot other than a little nudge, and it bounces off him and goes into the back of the net. Unfortunately, shot obviously on target there, but James unable to use his trademark elbow to bash that ball away, and it's now 6-2 now. 4-goal difference, 4-goal lead for Bayern Bru in this game, and Rapid Viennetta falling behind even further as Craig collects the ball and looks to play through Ash, who's almost all the way through, and then looks to play in Taylor on the far side, but the ball is picked up by Jack for Rapid Viennetta. Mark collects that well, and Mark has a chance to push forward, looks to find Chopper, but Chopper is well defended there by Cheesy and is unable to get the opportunity there, and Bayern Bru have it back into their possession. A dink little ball through to Ash, back to Cheesy, Bayern Bru have got numbers, back to Ash, and Ash scores there, and Bayern Bru had numbers galore there. The little easy dink ball over the top there, you can see on the far side, two Bayern Bru players completely unmarked, only Niall left in defence, and it's just simple passing there for Bayern Bru to cut Rapid Viennetta open and to make the scoreline 7-2 in this game. Another high scoring game for you in these early games this week as Niall's shots close down and doesn't reach the goal there. Into the final bit of play here between these teams as Ash looks to come forward once again, has won the ball away from Niall. Jack in there defending the back heel, not quite making it, and Cheesy can't get the shot away. Referee blows for full time. 7-2 final score. Game number 3, week 6, season 9, Fat 5 football sees O.B City versus Flaberdeen. O.B City in black shooting left to right. Flaberdeen in blue shooting right to left. Early on here, Flaberdeen with the ball, and they end up giving the possession away there from shortly after the kickoff. Flaberdeen, bottom of the table, looking to get some points with a couple of commissioner players today, and Josh there, one of those players, almost having an impact there. But Lewis himself, also from the commissioner squad for O.B City, stopping him there. The shot comes in, but Zach makes the save there for Flaberdeen. They will be delighted to have someone with the goalkeeping prowess of Zach in goals from this week. Flaberdeen, as they look to try and pick up some vital points as the ball goes long to Josh, finds Jamie with the shot, and Lewis there with the save to deny another opportunity for Flaberdeen to get a goal in this match. The ball now up into the Flaberdeen half as O.B City looks to come forward. Stevie now with the opportunity and the save from Zach, and the ball bounces out for Jamie to push forward with it now. O.B City venturing into the Flaberdeen half once again as he looks to try and get the ball forward, but it's been switched over possession, and Sean's shot there is just saved by Lewis in goals there. O.B City still coming forward. The scoreline still remains 0-0. Matthew has a chance this side on his own. Can he cut into the middle of the box? Takes the shot there, but Zach saves it with a routine save, and the ball is cleared away there. Still remains at the scoreless draw. The stalemate continues in this match as both teams try to get forward to try and break that. Sean, nice little back heel to Johnny. Johnny coming forward now. Johnny now. Will he take the shot on? Loses possession to Lewis, but regains it again. And Sean available in the middle of the pitch once again. He does play to him. Sean now looking to make a little bit of space. Takes a shot, and Sean gets the opening goal for Flaberdeen in this match. They strike first and they look to take control of this game early on. Sean, a little bit of a dummy there to throw off Willie, who's in front of him, trying to close him down. Eventually gets the shot away, and it lands into the back of the net. So it's 1-0 now for Flaberdeen in this match, as Matthew goes on a bit of a mazy run now, takes the shot, but Zach stands strong and denies him an opportunity to level the game. Ball bouncing around to a bit of headers and volleys going on here between the Flaberdeen players. There's a long ball up there to Johnny, and that's a great pass by Josh to find the onrushing Johnny, but Lewis matches it well and goes and denies. Zach once again trying to get Flaberdeen underway, but the ball's been lost, and O.B City in front of the Flaberdeen goal of the chance, and Zach dives down and gets some strong hands on it. And once again trying to instigate the attack as the ball goes all the way up, but it's lost again. Flaberdeen being a little bit lackadaisical here with their passing. Will it come to bite them? Stevie takes the shot. It's a save from Zach, and it pounces on the ball to get it under control, and Flaberdeen breathe a sigh of relief. It's a bit sloppy from Flaberdeen here, and O.B City just unable to get a shot away as once again Lewis makes a save there against Flaberdeen. you have to say. It has been going back and forth here, and even though Flaberdeen are winning, it could go in any way as Josh swipes at the ball, just misses and misses again on the second, and O.B City will collect that ball and look to push forward. Lewis now into the middle to Willie. Willie, a little bit of time and space, but he takes the shot on, and it's in incredibly there from Willie. The shot from distance manages to sneak past Zach there. I don't know if this takes a touch and anything here, but Willie takes the shot. It doesn't look like, and I think Zach is actually expecting Ross there in defence to get a touch on the ball, but he doesn't, and it's in the back of the net, and it's 1-1 now. O.B City eventually breaching the goalkeeping wall that is Zach and getting themselves the equaliser in this match. Johnny now searching for a player, finds Jamie. Jamie through on, can he score? It just goes away from Jamie, unfortunately. Prime position there. Flaberdeen still have it though, but it's now lost, and Lenny will make the run for O.B City to get it under control into the Flaberdeen half. Could this be the break for O.B City to take the lead here? It's stuck in the opposite side of the corner there. They can't quite get it out of there, and eventually it rolls all the way to Zach as Zach quickly plays it out. And possession just switching over, but Jamie now with the opportunity. Jamie comes forward. Jamie with a shot. Jamie with the goal after missing that golden opportunity earlier. He's made up for it now with a good shot from distance there. Drives into a bit of space. Lenny there tries to get the foot out to make the block, but it goes behind him and then rolls into the far bottom corner, and Jamie gets Flaberdeen in the lead. And I would love to say that Flaberdeen look like they're in control and will walk away with the points, but anything could happen in this match. It has been so back and forth, with possession changing hands so often in the blink of an eye of this match. And there's an example there, a 50-50 there. I have no idea who's going to run away with that, and Zach saves Lenny's shot from distance and hits it over and out of the pitch there. We've restarted now. Flaberdeen with the ball at feet, looking to play it long. Once again, it's a bad pass from Flaberdeen, unable to find a player there. Matthew picks up the ball after the save, but cannot find a player himself. You have to say both teams just as bad with the passing there, though. That's an excellent play of passing there, and Johnny, unfortunately, I think it might have hit off the back of Lenny's foot and slowed down there, making it an easier save for Lewis as O.B City look to come forward on the opposite side with Stevie. Stevie to Willie. Willie back to Stevie. Stevie made it through all the way, and Zach there with a top class save against Stevie there, not only to stop the shot, but the ball just dies at Zach's feet, meaning it is a sigh of relief from Flaberdeen there. We're into the last bit of play here, and the ball is still, nobody can get it under control in this game. You have to say some of the passing has been woeful in this match. Nice little touch there by Sean, playing it back to Ross. Johnny all the way through, can he find Sean in front of the goal? And unfortunately for Sean, he can't, but he doesn't care. End of the match, 2-1 to Flaberdeen, 3 points to the team at the bottom. Game number 4, it's Fatburn Rovers versus Ivory Toast. Fatburn Rovers in green, shooting from left to right and under pressure straight away from the kickoff. Ivory Toast in yellow, shooting right to left, applying the pressure, but eventually Fatburn Rovers managed to get the game under control. So after a bit of a frantic start there, no goals, still remains 0-0 as John has the opportunity to come forward now. John with the shot, and Paul, great save there for Ivory Toast. Mitchell trying to weave his way around Boother there, but is unable to. Sean giving that away almost. He does collect well. Good job there by Sean, dragging back. Timber on the run, can he be found? And he does eventually, but Paul on the edge of his box there makes the save to deny him. And this game has started at a frantic pace here. Boother forward now for Ivory Toast. The back post with MJ. Golden opportunity, and just couldn't keep the shot down and on target. And it still remains goalless in this match. Boother once again on the far side, making some room there, but eventually the ball is lost. Mitchell coming forward. Mitchell finds Sean in a bit of space. Sean holds up that ball well out to Timber. Timber now coming forward, finds John on the edge of the box, and John scoops that into the back of the net, and the man leading the top of the chocolate golden boot goal scoring and assist chart shows why he's been holding on to that position since very early on in the season. In fact, I think from week 1 he has been the top player there, and it's 1-0 to Fatburn Rovers in this match. Ivory Toast looking to push up into the Fatburn Rovers half, but eventually Fatburn Rovers see it back to their goalkeeper and slow things down a bit. John now middle of pitch, ball at feet, dancing his way between two players, but eventually he's caught out which you have to say is probably worthwhile. And David there hitting the post, winning that ball off of John after John messing about in the middle of the pitch, and just unfortunately for them hitting the post. David once again the ball at feet, past Mitchell, all the way through. Can he get the shot away? We saw him last week score from that sort of angle, but unfortunately this week unable to convert so well. MJ now trying to get the ball to a teammate there, but can Greg maybe held a little bit there, but the referee not giving anything, and Sean gets the ball away there, but Paul makes the save against the shot from Sean. And Fatburn Rovers coming forward once again. James tries to get a shot on target there, but it's closed down by Liam. John all the way through, dancing through once again, this time getting the shot away. But Paul once again standing strong and making the difference there. Hopefully with the new bibs for Fatburn Rovers, the viewers can find it a bit easier to track the two players, as John's shot there is saved by Paul. And I mentioned about the bibs as marked on the pitch, making his debut for Fat Fives football this week as he comes towards the camera, but Timber's away from him there. Timber's shot blocked by Greg. And now Mark has the opportunity to come forward with the ball for Ivory Toast. Plays it across, but it's intercepted by Mitchell. The ball is bobbing about a bit though. Ivory Toast cannot take advantage though of the situation. And Fatburn Rovers look to restart. John got marked there for company. Finds Mitchell. Mitchell with the back heel. That's a brilliant goal there from Mitchell. 2 keys time and a bit of showboating, but it is a fantastic finish there. Going away from goal and the back heel. In fact, the Rabona back heel there as well. Perfectly timed. Absolutely bamboozles the Ivory Toast defence and goalkeeper. Massive credit for Mitchell for the complexity of that finish there, and it's a fantastic goal. I'm glad that we've caught that on camera. Ball hitting the referee there, but it's played all the way back to the goalkeeper so we can restart the play once again. Fatburn Rovers on the defence now. Sean in goals, looking to get his team underway again as it plays through to Mitchell. Mitchell now, couple of spaces there and plays the ball over the top. Does find a teammate on the far side there, and eventually finds his way back to John. John connected with Mitchell, and Mitchell with a second goal in this game. Maybe not as flamboyant as his first goal. Definitely a good goal nonetheless, as that goes into the path of him there, and it's a fine finish past Paul in goals. Paul has had a great showing so far in this game in goals for Ivory Toast. Unfortunately now has seen another goal go past him in this match, and that's 3-0 now to Fatburn Rovers as Sean looks to get his team underway once again. The league leaders sitting very comfortably in this game, and it will put them in a comfortable position still at the top of the league. However, everything can change as John there brilliantly dances through the defence, and Paul matches that brilliance with the fingertip save to deny him there. Great goalkeeping there from Paul, as John with the twinkle toes pink boots is absolutely playing havoc with the Ivory Toast defence. Timber now looks to get away, but he can. MJ picks the ball. MJ has got options, finds David, and David slots that ball away to give Ivory Toast a goal in this match. Great little run there from MJ. He's got time and space, and then eventually looks up and sees his teammate, his team's top goal scorer so far this season, in David, who's been on an absolute purple patch with his goal scoring. And they get the goal in this match to ensure they don't walk away completely empty-handed. There is maybe a little bit of time here for an Ivory Toast comeback, but John just shoots wide there, reminding Ivory Toast that they are always in peril with this strike force, you have to say, with John and Mitchell and even Timber as well into that consideration. The goal is always a threat no matter who they're playing. As the ball's played across and David almost knocks it into the back of his net there, but fortunately enough it goes wide. Mitchell's intercepted though. Mitchell to John. John through in on goal. Yes, John scores this time after previous attempts have been foiled with Paul's goalkeeping prowess there. And John with the ball at feet there. Paul already commits, thinking the shot's going to come away early there. Down low, and John just dinks it into the back of the goals there. So 4-1 the scoreline in this match, as Ivory Toast look to try and get something before the referee blows the full time. You see Brian there in the bottom corner, whistle in hand to go at any moment now, and it has. Final score 4-1 to Fatburn Rovers. Game number 5 sees Rapid Viennetta versus O.B City at Season 9, Week 6 of Fat Fives football. Rapid Viennetta in orange shooting left to right, and O.B City in black shooting right to left. And early on here, O.B City looking to come forward, and he's still back here from Lewis, and the shot away there from Lenny, but is unable to hit the target with that. James looking to get Rapid Viennetta up and away again. Long ball all the way out to Niall. Niall goes to collect that ball in the O.B City half. Can he create a chance here? The ball is lost. Lewis is picked up. Lewis all the way through. Can he score? Yes, he can. The man who has been picking up the baton that Gogs has dropped so far this season for O.B City. Lewis gets another goal to his name. A deft little touch there to just get past the defender, and Lewis through on goal makes it 1-0 to O.B City in this game. Rapid Viennetta getting the match underway as they look to try and find a way back into this match. O.B City now with the ball halfway with the goal scorer Lewis, and a ball there that just goes past everyone, including his own player there in Lewis from the Commissioner squad. And Lewis gets that shot away, but James there with the big hands to deny the shot there. O.B City up into the Rapid Viennetta half. Lenny there holding up, plays it back to Lewis, and the save there. Lenny with a second chance here, and James makes the big save with the elbow this time and gets it away. And Matthew will collect that for O.B City in his half as he looks to find Lenny. Lenny with the ball now. Lenny coming forward still. Plays it out wide. Is the ball going to come back in for O.B City? Still sitting in the corner there with Willie. Eventually back to Matthew. Matthew moves into space. Finds Lewis. And there's the second goal for O.B City in this match. A well-crafted team goal. A lot of patience there shown by the O.B City players. Eventually the space just opens up for Lewis there as Cal is forced to go and close down Matthew. And eventually Lewis puts it in the back of the net to make it 2-0. Cal just smashes that ball from kickoff and just gives away possession there to O.B City. And O.B City will look to play it up the line to Lewis. And Lewis gets a third goal in this game. Rounds off his hat-trick. Such an absolute counter-punch there, you have to say, from O.B City. All comes from giving away that possession cheaply by Rapid Viennetta there, and O.B City just play it up the sides to their talisman this week, Lewis, who finishes off his hat-trick in this game. 3-0 Rapid find themselves behind. They've lost the ball there. Jack giving it up to Matthew. Matthew pushing forward. Matthew still goes. Finds Lenny. Lenny slots that away, and it is 4-0 in this match. Matthew there completely unopposed. Jack trying to keep up with him but cannot, and then eventually simple ball to Lenny, who just slots it into the back of the net there to make it 4-0 to O.B City. 3 goals now have came in consecutive plays here. We've not had any cutaways in these highlights, and that's an incredible turnaround there from O.B City. Yes, they might have been one goal ahead earlier on, but they've managed to really pull away in such a short space of time. James there with a quick save there with a hand coming out and stopping the shot there. And you would say if that had hit the back of the net, it would pretty much be game over for Rapid Viennetta. We've hardly seen them trouble the O.B City goals there as James makes a save with his feet, possibly with a bit of assistance with the goalpost there. As Willie takes the shot, James not even quite up yet. James still on the ground, and eventually the ball rolls to him and he can collect it there. Rapid Viennetta all over the place here as Mark comes forward, but the shot is cut down by Matthew. Nice little juggling there from Matthew. Eventually gets it all the way through to Willie. Willie with a touch. Is he round James? Almost there, and James makes the save. I think he got a little bit of a knock to the head there with the ball, but as you can see there, he's up and okay and making saves once again. And Niall's through on goals. Could this be the opportunity that Rapid Viennetta were looking for? Niall just hits wide, and eventually Stevie gets a hand on the second rebound to ensure it stays in the goalkeeper's box there. Unfortunately for Rapid Viennetta, still no goal here as Willie, the little dummy there, but it gets the shot away and it's saved by James now. Still a chance for O.B City, but it doesn't go anywhere as of yet. Now the ball all the way up to the top. Mark has a chance for Rapid, but Jack has it now. I was about to say the ball has been moved over to O.B City, but it landed at the feet of Jack, and Jack just couldn't quite get the shot away there. And Rapid Viennetta still without a goal in this match. Mark maybe with a chance now, but the ball is cleared away. But the save there against Jack, he quickly gets on the ball. Every time I think this ball is away from Rapid Viennetta, Jack is there picking up the ball. but eventually it's played this time all the way back to James. Mark once again. Mark takes a shot and Stevie will collect that routine save for the goalkeeper there. Stevie waiting till the referee blows to start the game again, as we've got a couple of substitutions coming on the pitch now, and we have the whistle there, and it's played it to Lewis. Lewis, the hat-trick hero in this game. Back to him from Willie there, but it looks like it's intercepted, but no, Lewis still has it. Lewis will take the shot. Yes, he does, and that's 4 for Lewis in this game. A 5-0 scoreline currently for O.B City, and 4 of those goals for Lewis. He will be delighted with Gogs missing once again for O.B City. The 3-time Golden Chocolate Boot Award winner Gogs, and O.B City's main goal scoring threat, been missing for a number of weeks now, but Lewis has stepped perfectly into that space, and that's allowed O.B City to remain competitive in the league. As Jack comes forward now for Rapid Viennetta, but unfortunately cannot get a shot away there. Mark with a swing, and it's straight at the goalkeeper once again, and he will be thankful for that. James looking to get that ball to get started once again after it left the field of play. And now the players are getting themselves into positions, waiting for the referee to restart, and the game is underway once again. Cal with the ball, looking to find a teammate. Long ball up there, doesn't find the target. Lewis collects the ball. Lewis with number 5. 5 goals for Lewis. A 5-star performance from the prolific goal scorer in this game. Space and time there, no pressure. Rapid Viennetta look like they just want to get off this pitch ASAP. There's questions being asked. You can tell their attitudes are low in this game. They're going to have to pick themselves up for the last game after this. It has been a bit of a drubbing as Willie comes forward, hits the post there. Could have been 7, could have been nightmare stuff for Rapid Viennetta, but fortunately enough, it hits the post and doesn't. Lenny all the way through, and Lenny just hits wide as well. Rapid Viennetta just wanting this whistle to go. O.B City looking to try and see if they can nick a 7th in this match. Eventually, Rapid Viennetta are saved. 6-0 final score. Game number 6 sees Bayern Bru versus Parmesan Belgrade. Bayern Bru in purple shooting left to right, Parmesan Belgrade in white shooting right to left. So we're at the halfway point for this week's highlights. Bayern Bru and Parmesan Belgrade registering wins in the earlier game, as early on there, Stuart with a chance, Chucky with a follow-up, 2 fantastic saves there from Craig, and as mentioned in the earlier game, Craig making a huge positive impact for Bayern Bru being in goals again. Chucky now in front of the goals, Craig with a save, and it is bounced away there. There's shouts for a penalty here, and well, actually, yeah, it looks like that back leg there was over the line there, and that should actually be a penalty for Parmesan Belgrade, but Bayern Bru get away with one there as Martin takes the shot, and it's saved there by Callum in goals. Second shot is blocked down by Martin. So early on here, Parmesan Belgrade feeling aggrieved with the refereeing decision so far, but they'll have to play on anyway with the good opportunities, and they've certainly got plenty of opportunities in front of goals, but unable to get it past Craig as Martin comes forward now with the shot, and it just bobbles into the back of the net there past Callum in goals for Parmesan Belgrade there. So Bayern Bru get themselves 1-0 up in this game early on there. Good shot there from Martin, but unfortunately it just trickles in, and you feel like it could have got a touch by the goalkeeper there, but didn't. So it's 1-0 now as Parmesan Belgrade hit back straight away with Jordan, and that removes that lead away just after moments of starting the game. Again, Jordan with a powerful run there, Taylor unable to keep up with him, and Craig with those earlier great saves just watches that ball go across his goal and into the inside post to make it 1-1 in this match. So Parmesan Belgrade striking back quickly and bringing this back to an equal level score line. Parmesan Belgrade looking to get away now. Martin getting the ball out of his feet there, plays it across now, and the shot once again, and there's shouts again for a penalty from Parmesan Belgrade. We'll have a look at that. Craig there in the box there. Oh, and the feet's come out there and made contact with the ball. Yeah, you gotta feel for Parmesan Belgrade. It feels like they should have had 2 penalties here, but the referee has waved no and stated play on, and we remain at 1-1 in this match. Craig there with the save at his knees there as he goes down to make the save. Ball played across. Martin with the goal there. Great sucker punch there from Bayern Bru. Quick rollout by Craig and goals to Cheesy. Cheesy plays that ball all the way across to Martin, who gets ahead of Paddy and then slots it past Callum in the back of the net and makes it 2-1 in this game. So Bayern Bru back in the lead after another bit of controversy there for Parmesan Belgrade, and Bayern Bru taking all the luck with them. As we always say, as Taylor comes through. Taylor with the goal from open play. Brilliant goal there from Taylor. He's all in space. In fact, he's got a couple of players coming in to close him down. I think everybody expects Taylor to play the pass. This time, takes the shot. It goes past Callum and goals, and Taylor gets a goal to his name. And you have to say, everybody on the Bayern Bru team and also on the sidelines ecstatic to see a fan favourite in Taylor get himself a goal in this game. So 3-1 now to Bayern Bru, definitely taking advantage of the situation that they find themselves in. And as I was saying, what we always say is the referee's ruling is final on the pitch as Jordan hits the crossbar there, and you can sense the frustration from Parmesan Belgrade. Jordan with the ball at feet. Jordan past Ash there. Now cuts back in. Coco comes across. It's fair though. Jordan continues on, and Craig with the save. Second chance, but eventually Bayern Bru get it back to their goalkeeper. So the scoreline remains 3-1 in this match. Jordan playing it to Chucky. Chucky now, the shot there. Too close for a handball though. Good decision by the referee there as Callum takes the shot, and it's saved by the goalkeeper there. Parmesan Belgrade on the opposite side with the ball, looking to try and get forward again, but it's intercepted. Martin now has the ball at feet. Martin plays it out there to Gareth. Gareth just wide of the goal there, unfortunately, for Bayern Bru and Gareth. Second chance here, though, for Bayern Bru, and eventually it lands with the goalkeeper in the box there, and it gets cleared away by the goalkeeper and eventually goes all the way back to Craig and goals for Bayern Bru. Now Cheesy with the ball. Cheesy coming forward. Will Cheesy hit it? Yes, he does, and he gets the goal. Cheesy. That makes it 4-1 in this match. Cheesy with absolute acres of space there. Eventually realises he's got so much time, he hits it and it goes straight into the back of corner of the goal there. And 4-1 now the scoreline for Bayern Bru, increasing their lead, giving themselves a 3-goal cushion in this match. Parmesan Belgrade will be still, you could tell, they'll still be fizzing over the penalty shouts, but they have to get themselves together and continue on in this match. Cheesy now with the shot there and the save from Chucky. Second ball almost lands at Martin for Bayern Bru's feet, but it is the Martin for Parmesan Belgrade who gets it first there. Craig now looking to get Bayern Bru underway back from their own goal line. Gareth there, nice little footwork, but not quite getting away with it this time. And Martin looks to play in Paddy. Paddy now cuts back in, still cutting in. Paddy, will he take the shot away? There's options there at wide. Plays out to Jordan. Jordan takes the shot, and eventually it goes into the back of the net there for Parmesan Belgrade, and they've cut away at the Bayern Bru lead now down to only 2 goals. Everybody on tender hooks there, waiting to see if Paddy was going to pull the trigger, but eventually he lays off his teammate Jordan, who converts it there. So 4-2 now, could be a bit dangerous. Another goal quickly here before the end of the game for Parmesan Belgrade will make it squeaky bum time for Bayern Bru, and I'm getting myself all into a bit of a tongue twister here. Coco with the shot straight at Chucky. Now Parmesan Belgrade need to come forward. On the far side takes the shot, and it's saved once again by Craig, and the substitution then stops the game there. We're into the final bits of play in this match. Off the boards there, the ball played back to the goalkeeper. Will Parmesan Belgrade quickly get a goal? It's unlikely they'll get a draw in this match considering how much time's left, but can they cut the goal difference there? Edge of the box, unable to. Craig picks it up, full time, 4-2 final score. Game number 7 of week 6, season 9 Fat Fives football sees Ivory Toast versus Scrandinavia, and Ivory Toast hitting straight away from the kickoff there from David. And I'll have to explain Chopper's appearance for Scandinavia in a minute, but David, they're winning that ball after a terrible pass by Chopper, and it's through the legs of Barry, and instantly Scandinavia down a goal mere seconds into this match. Great start there from David from the kickoff, pouncing on the opportunity, but it leaves Scrandinavia a goal down. So, Ivory Toast in yellow, shooting left to right, Scrandinavia in red, shooting right to left. And the appearance of Chopper in this game, as I mentioned in the earlier game, Scrandinavia losing 2 players who are out with injury for the rest of the match has put them down to 5. So, Chopper has stepped in to give Scrandinavia a substitution. And Chris has put the ball in the back of the net to make up for that earlier mistake by Chopper, bringing the game back to 1-1. Great pass there by Lewis to find Chris on the far side, and Chris just slots it past the outrushing Paul, running to the edge of his box there, and it's 1-1 in this match. So I think I've covered everything background wise for this game, and from now on we can just focus on the football on screen as David get past 2 players there, takes the shot, and Barry there with the save for Scrandinavia to stop David getting a second early goal in this game. Mark over there battling against Chopper. Eventually Liam picks it up and gets past Chopper into space, looks to find Booth, but Ryan picks it up, and the save there from Barry after it bobbled back into the path of Liam, who got the shot away there. Mark picks up the ball on the far side there and looking to bring it all the way back to his goalkeeper for safety. Paul playing it out to Boother. Nice little pass to David. David threw on, and David early shot there as the defence tried to come across and cover the space that David found himself there in, but he hits it first time you can see, gets through on goal, and then hits it with the outside of his foot and into the far corner there to give Ivory Toast the lead once again and change the scoreline 2-1 in this match. So Scrandinavia losing once again, behind by 1 goal. Scandinavia look to get forward now. Chris to Ryan. Ryan plays in the Chopper. Chopper touch, turn through the legs, and there's a goal for Chopper to make up for his mistake earlier on. Ryan receiving that ball from Chris, looks to find Chopper in space. Acres of space there, takes the touch. Liam comes across the block, but eventually Chopper gets the shot away, and it is 2-2 in this game as he hits that into the back of the net. So 2-2 now, as we get back to a level playing field here, and the ball ricochets off the backboard there. MJ up against Chopper. MJ wins out though. Good use of strength from MJ there, and plays it across to Boother. Back to David. David now with a little bit of space looks to drive into Ivory Toast here with the extra man, and they look to try and get forward, but they lose the ball. Ryan collects the ball, and it goes all the way back to Paul in goals. Paul plays it out to Liam. Liam looks to find David now. David's got Chopper to keep him company there, but eventually finds MJ up the line there. Chris looks to come across, but not quite making the tackle on David. The ball bounces off, and eventually Ryan will collect and plays it back to his goalkeeper there. Barry rolls it out to Chris. Chris now sees the on-rushing Lewis. Lewis now through and on goals. Lewis takes a shot. Lewis with a great goal there, and a round of applause from Chris, appreciating that run and appreciating the finish there. Lewis picks up the ball. They're just at the bottom of the screen. There's Boother there trying to keep pace on, but Lewis with a sprinted run there and a finish to boot and all. And Scrandinavia have turned this game around, twice finding themselves behind. They now lead in this match as Ryan plays the ball back to their goalkeeper there. Chris now coming forward. Scrandinavia look to get forward once again. Chris with the shot. Oh, and unlucky for Chris. It bounces off of both posts but doesn't cross the line, and it remains 3-2 the scoreline in this match. Scandinavia still leading with just the 1 goal here, and Liam's shot there just saved by Barry, and that would have been a way back into the match for Ivory Toast. Scandinavia ball at feet. Chris looking to play into Ryan. Ryan though gets a nice little turn and tries the back heel, and it doesn't quite come off. Saw it earlier with Mitchell with a lovely Rabona back heel there, but this time it doesn't quite work. Game just waiting for substitutions, and now we are underway as Greg up against Mike there. Greg uses the ball there, and he's past Mike in space. Oh, what a finish there by Greg. Acres of space there after getting past Mike there. Good use of the wall, and eventually just uses his strength and pace to get past Mike, and then with the outside of the foot just curls into the top corner there. Barry unable to get a hand on that, and Ivory Toast have dragged themselves back into this game. 3-3 now the scoreline thanks to their captain as Chopper goes on a bit of a run here. Chopper looks to play off the boards, but there's no one in red to pick up that secondary ball, and they lose possession. Chris all the way through to Ryan after he takes the bobble. Ryan back to Chopper. Chopper 1-on-1, can he finish? Straight at the goalkeeper there. Poor finish there from Chopper, but great goalkeeping there from Paul to come out to the edge of his box and make the save. The ball just in that right-hand corner, just out of the camera's reach there, and eventually Ryan picks up that ball. Ryan, nice little turn. Ryan moving forward now. Not much options available. Chris and Chopper kind of walking their way forward. Eventually finds Chris though, and Chris gets it in the back of the net. A sneaky little walk there, or jog to be more exact, from Chris there to find himself in space. Greg just completely loses his man there as Chris just sneaks in behind him, and then the ball lands at his feet and he slots it in there. Great finish there from Chris. And it's 4-3 in this match out of nowhere there, you have to say. It looked like Ryan had no options going. Eventually he found Scrandinavia's top goal scorer in previous seasons. I'm not quite sure if Chris is still top this season. That's something we'll need to check later on there, but it does not matter. Scandinavia are in the lead in this match. They'll be delighted to have turned this match around and find themselves 4-3 in front. Chris gets the ball at feet, past Mark there, not quite though. Mark standing his ground and Chris is down on the floor there. Heavy touch there from Chopper, and there's points to send it back to the goalkeeper, but the referee wastes play on. David now with the shot, and there's the goal for Ivory Toast that levels things up. I think a bit of confusion there. You can see both Chopper and Greg pointing for the ball to go backwards, but the game plays on. David takes the shot. Referee did not blow the whistle, and so every right Ivory Toast have to continue on here. The players do not dictate the game. It is the referee that decides it there, and he felt there was no foul, and it's 4-4 in this match. Chopper there with a shot. Paul with the save, and Chris can't get onto the second there. David now, ball at feet, looking to get away there. David looks to play it, but it's intercepted between Lewis, Ryan and Chopper there. Chopper to Lewis. Lewis now has the opportunity just behind him there in the back heel to Chris. Chris now has the chance. Can Scrandinavia get a goal from here? All the way through, but it's a bit heavy there. And Chopper can't get onto the end of it there. Looks to use the wall all the way through, and it's just gone into the side net in there, and a scream of anguish there from Chopper. So the game remains 4-4 currently. It could go either way. Both teams looking attacking as Lewis's shot there just goes wide and Mark collects. The ball's played through to Liam. Liam all the way through. Chopper tries to take the block on. Not quite, but forces Liam wide. Eventually through the middle there. It's bounced off his heel, and MJ gets the shot away, and MJ gets the goal, and that is just cruel there, you have to say. Liam cuts across there. MJ takes that shot there. Chopper with the block, but it lands behind him as he moves across right perfectly for MJ to just smash that in the back of the goal. Ivory Toast back in the lead, and Lady Luck has shone on them in this case. To be fair, both teams have been attacking, and both teams could have got the fifth goal to take the lead, but it is Ivory Toast that have had the rub of the green this time and lead by a goal once again. Chopper looking to come forward, finds Lewis. Lewis back to Chopper. Chopper going all the way through there, still has it with 1-on-1, and good goalkeeping there from Paul. That's a brilliant save there as Lewis takes the volley, and Paul saves once again. Paul making a huge difference in the save to keep Ivory Toast with this lead. Ryan back to Lewis. Lewis all the way forward. Chopper looks to come collect, and then uses the wall. Both are there for company. Back to Ryan. Ball bobbling around. Liam comes forward to David. David with a shot, and Ivory Toast have extended their lead through their talisman. David once again. Liam collecting that ball. Scrandinavia, you can see a couple of heads there. They just look tired on this pitch. Liam then finding David, and David slotting it in the back of the net. And it is 6-4 in this game. And I believe that Ivory Toast maybe have only one player more, maybe have the exact same substitution as Scrandinavia, so it's not, there's a massive difference there as Chris hits it over the empty net there. Incredible stuff as Chris misses that golden opportunity there, and the ball comes all the way up to the Scrandinavia goal, and Barry manages to get a touch on it, force it on to the crossbar there. Long ball up by Chopper, plays it through to Lewis. Just to go back and mention a bit of tiredness, because it just looks like Ivory Toast looks so much more fitter than this, as David takes the shot, and David gets a seventh in this match, and you have to say that's probably lights out for any chance now for Scandinavia. You see here David just pushing forward, boys running for Ivory Toast, and Scandinavia just look absolutely knackered on this pitch physically. slow walking from them there, but maybe they're just mentally fatigued after 2 heavy defeats, or what's going to look like it's 2 heavy defeats here. As Ivory Toast come forward once again, Leo with a shot and the good save from Barry. Barry looking to get his team underway again as Ryan takes it on the edge of his box and plays it back across to Lewis. Lewis now looking to push forward, looks to find Chopper, but the touch from David there takes it away. Mark and Chopper will go chase it into the far side. It uses the wall to find Boother. Boother up to David. Not much time left, but can Ivory Toast get an 8th here? David in this corner here is held there by Lewis. Eventually saved by the goalkeeper. And it's 7-4, the final score in this game. Game number 8, Season 9, Week 6, Fat 5 football sees Flaberdeen versus Fatburn Rovers. Flaberdeen in blue shooting from left to right, and Fatburn Rovers in green shooting from right to left. This is a top versus bottom match here. And if you were a betting person, you would probably stick your house on Fatburn Rovers. Although Flaberdeen picked up vital 3 points earlier, but Fatburn Rovers continue to show their goal-scoring prowess across the team so far in these games. As Timber comes forward, getting past Jamie there. Timber still with the ball. If he takes a shot and just shoots wide of the goal there, and Josh will pick up on the far side. Game just stopped here for a second as the ball stuck behind the goals, and Zach will look to get things restarted. As I said, this on paper looks like it should be a Fatburn Rovers win, but Flaberdeen have got a few fresh faces from the Commissioner squad on loan this week that might make the difference, including goalkeeper Zach. As John comes forward, finds Mitchell all the way through, cuts back into John lays it up for Mitchell, and the finish there from Mitchell, and unfortunately nothing Zach can do in goals there. Johnny here making a bit of a shout here. Don't see anything wrong there with John. I think they're claiming that John's going to be shoved at Josh. I don't think so there. It looks like just a turn there. Just looks like a normal instance. But Mitchell there smashing that shot into the back of the goal. And it is 1-0 here for Fatburn Rovers. Josh there with the opportunity. There's a bit of a shout for the referee saying there might have been a bit of a push. I think he might have been in the box when it happened. So it wouldn't be a legal or illegal foul, whichever way you want to use that sentence. But I don't think it would stand because Josh was in the box where he shouldn't be. Sean there at the edge of the box, looks at playing John, and the save there from Zach. Great save there as he dies low to deny John there from getting a second goal for Fatburn Rovers. Fatburn Rovers still with the ball on the far side, and the shot there, bit of a save, half side of the goal there potentially, but either way it is not hitting the back of the net and remains 1-0 in this match. Fatburn Rovers with the ball, looks like into the corner of the Flaberdeen half. Again, unfortunately cameras just can't pick it up as Jamie tries to get forward, but eventually out muscle between John and Timber there. Johnny comes across to win that ball with Timber. Timber gets away with it. The shot there from Sean, and it's in the back of the net there. It looked like Johnny just lost where the location of the ball was there, and then a bit of a collision opposite side between Josh and Timber. Timber just kind of running into Josh there, and Sean in space, edge of the box, finishes that like a plum, and it is 2-0. And you gotta think, where could this final score be come full time? Timber coming forward now. Timber takes the shot, and it's hit the post. That is almost 3 there. Josh losing the ball out to Mitchell as Fatburn Rovers come forward once again with John, and the save there from Zach. Timber takes the shot, actually on target there from distance, but Zach gets on it there. Flaberdeen really need to get themselves into this game. It looks like just from the physical side of this match, they seem to be really struggling to get to terms with it there. Jamie playing it up to Sean. Sean, nice little football here, keeping it under control, but eventually lose it out. Thought Jamie was on the run, but Sean's picked up the edge of the box. Sean back heel, and there is a goal for Flaberdeen, and that might stop the juggernaut from Fatburn Rovers from running away with this game early on there. Flaberdeen getting the goal. Lovely finish there by Sean. It looked like that ball was completely lost on the far side as Jamie unable to get initially on the end of Sean's little layoff, but it was managed to be collected from the Flaberdeen players there, and Sean getting the shot away with a tidy finish there to make it 2-1 to Fatburn Rovers in this match. Fatburn Rovers again on the run there. Timber there trying to get onto the edge of the ball, but Johnny getting a vital touch there. Mitchell playing into John. John with the shot, and it's just wide of the goal there from John. and Jamie will collect. Incredibly enough, we are into the last passage of play in this game. This game hasn't turned out as the onslaught as we thought, as Timber who stops the game there with the handball there, and the game is continuing on, the referee letting it play, and that's why the final whistle moments away, 2-1 to Fatburn Rovers. Game number 9, Season 9, Week 6, Fatburn Rovers versus Rapid Viennetta. Fatburn Rovers in green shooting left to right, and Rapid Viennetta in orange shooting right to left. So last round of fixtures for this week. Rapid Viennetta, who have had a bit of a pummeling this week. Fatburn Rovers are walking away with 2 out of 2 wins. Can they round off the hat-trick to make it 3? Will Rapid Viennetta be able to pick up some vital points against the league leaders here? Good save there from Niall early on, is landed at Mark's feet. Can Mark get the shot away? He does! And Rapid Viennetta here have taken a surprise lead here. As I mentioned in the previous game with Fatburn Rovers, if you were a betting man, your money would have been on Fatburn Rovers. However, you might be sweating it right now, as out of almost completely nothing there, Mark has been able to get an early goal here for Rapid Viennetta, and it's 1-0 to the boys in the orange tops. And Fatburn Rovers will look to try and get back into this game quickly with their attacking power, you would say. That is a likelihood, as James, former captain for Fatburn Rovers, comes and collects the ball, looking to find Mitchell, successfully does so. Can Mitchell get the shot away? He does not. Elected to find John, but eventually the ball comes back to Mitchell, and Mitchell does get it in the back of the net, and that ball almost completely disappeared out of space and time there as it rattled from both post to post there. Mitchell with the shot, and Niall there had no idea where that ball went until eventually he sees it behind him and he knows it's in the back of the net there. So Fatburn Rovers back into this game within an instant, and it's 1-1, and Rapid Viennetta's shock lead did not last for long. However, it does show that they have the capability of being able to get some positive goals from this game, as Mark loses out that ball to Mitchell and it goes all the way back to Timber, who looks to get Fatburn Rovers underway again. John takes the ball, looking to run past James, does so and gets the shot away, and there is the second goal for Fatburn Rovers, and they are back in control of this game once again. John there giving himself a bit of distance away from James there, and then eventually gets the shot away, and Niall can't get his feet into correct position to make the save there, and it is 2-1 in this match. Remember earlier, Chopper appearing in the first game had to switch over to Scrandinavia to give them a substitute option, and so Rapid Viennetta down a player after game 1, and it looks like they will be needing to rotate with a bit of tiredness kicking in now. James wins that ball against John though. Jack now has the opportunity, but Jack just drags the shot wide, and Timber will collect that. And it looks like Fatburn Rovers have 3 up top there. They have a man advantage as Mitchell does not need it as he pushes forward and slams that ball into the back of the net there. Mitchell starting from his own box there, pushes all the way through, dancing past Jack there, and then smashing it past Niall in goal to make it 3-1. And Fatburn Rover fans there who have them on any sort of weird and wonderful coupon you might have going for this game, you will be breathing a sigh of relief, as Fatburn Rovers look like they are in control of this game once again. John, edge of the box, going to get the shot away. John up against James, can't, but Mitchell has the ball this time. Everybody just watching Fatburn Rovers in that Rapid Viennetta half, and it does not hit the back of the net, as Rapid Viennetta eventually do get up the other end, and Mark's shot is saved by Timber. There is a sense of just given in through the capitulation here of Rapid Viennetta, you have to say, as Niall shot hits wide there. They're maybe just looking for the week to be over, but Fatburn Rovers will not give them an easy time, as Mitchell to John. John takes the shot and it's in the back of the net again. 4-1 now the scoreline. A bit of a rollicking here already in this match. Plenty of time left for more goals on either side, although it looks like there might only be one side here that is going to score more goals, and that is the side in green, as Mitchell now collects the ball after Jack's shot goes wide, but eventually doesn't come to anything here. Fatburn Rovers once again up in the Rapid Viennetta half, as Mitchell has the ball, looking to just make some space. Eventually finds James. James a little bit out here, takes a shot, just drags it wide, unfortunately. And Aiden's played that ball up to Mark. Now Mark has the opportunity. Can he play in Jack? Doesn't need Jack. He gets the goal himself. And it's now 4-2, and Rapid Viennetta might have carved a way back into this match for them. Great play there by Niall to play it all the way up to Mark there. And Mark's shot goes past Timber in goals. And they've reduced the lead of Fatburn Rovers now to only 2 goals as Mitchell continues to come forward, finds John. John now plays it out to Timber. Timber with a shot. It's back to a 3-goal lead here. Great team play here from Fatburn Rovers. John, 2 defenders in front. You might have heard in the audio Timber shouting for the ball. Eventually John plays it to him and he absolutely leathers that into the back of the net there. James unable to get into position to make the save, and it is 5-2 now the score line. Fatburn Rovers looking like they are back fully in control as Mitchell comes forward once again, and it just goes wide there. Might have taken a little nick off the post, hard to tell from this angle, but it doesn't hit the back of the net regardless. There's 3 Fatburn Rovers players there in space as Mitchell just hits the side netting, and Rapid Viennetta will look to get forward there. Well, the ball's going straight to John though from Cal. John now cutting back in. John with a shot, and it is 6-2 now. I'm looking at how much time's left. There is ample amount of time left in this game. There's no way near done as John adds a 6th into it, and this could get really bad here for Rapid Viennetta. Although they've managed to get themselves back in earlier on, they just need to keep that head up and get a couple of goals soon to get themselves back in. That's not going to help though, as Mitchell hits wide and the ball's still in play there as James hits the backboard. Lucky enough for Rapid Viennetta, it does not end in a goal against them, as Ross in goals there looks to try and get the team underway again. Mitchell's shot is saved by James on the goal line, and so a 7th goal is still being searched for by the Fatburn Rovers players. Timber coming forward now. Timber just dancing with that ball. Eventually he is stuck into the corner there, but can he get a ball cut back to John there in space? Long ball over to Mitchell. Mitchell with the header. Incredible stuff here. For long-time viewers of Fat Fives, you will know that headers are a rarity due to the size of the goals and the standard 5-a-side goals that are so low there. That's a brilliant header there by Mitchell, and credit to Timber for putting that on a plate for Mitchell to get that head into the back of the goal there. Rapid Viennetta will definitely not want to see that back, unfortunately, but that is a fantastic header and a bit of a gem here at Fat Fives. John's shot there is denied by James. Timber with a shot now, also denied by James. And the ball just cannot get out of the Rapid Viennetta's half, and eventually ends up behind the goals. James looks to get Rapid Viennetta underway. Jack there with a touch, a bit heavy, but he's still got it. Jack with a shot, and the ball is cleared away there by Ross in goals. Carl looks to collect it on the far side. He's got James there for company. Gets past James. Got another 2 coming through. Gets it through to Niall. Niall to Jack. Jack with a shot, and the save there by Ross. Rapid Viennetta still have it though. Jack with a 2nd shot, and it bounces off of Timber's leg. And John looks to get away with the ball now. Niall trying to keep him company. James with the save there in goals for Rapid Viennetta, and Cal will go collect. It's went from one end of the pitch to the other. Loose ball though. John gets the touch and it just goes wide, but he's the first to get it at the far side. John still going to James, and ex-captain of Fatburn Rovers, James, gets a goal in this match. A brilliant ball there from John from the corner. Finds James sitting just round about the penalty spot, and he's slotted away, and it is 8-2 in this match. Rapid Viennetta will just be hoping that the final whistle comes soon. I can tell you it is still a while away here, as a shot saved there by Ross in goal to deny Rapid Viennetta a chance to get a 3rd. John has the ball at feet. John plays it to James. James in front of goals. James slots it past James, and that is now 9 goals for Fatburn Rovers. Incredible goal scoring here for Fatburn Rovers. Rapid Viennetta's defence has just been absolutely non-existent. Anytime they've gone up with the ball, they've left themselves with gaps, and Fatburn Rovers has made them pay. And in fact, if you look at the previous match, Fatburn Rovers versus Flaberdeen, You saw good defending there from Flaberdeen as Mark completes his hat-trick. It is of little celebration for Rapid Viennetta. It does take a goal away from the goal difference and puts it into the positive column for Rapid Viennetta. But the difference is so huge, it's not going to make a difference in this match. Even though there is plenty of time, you just feel like Rapid Viennetta don't have the coordination in this match to get anything else other than some extra goals from it, as James picks up that ball. Oh, technically with a touch of the foot, he shouldn't be picking that ball up, but that's not been picked up by the referee, and eventually Rapid Viennetta get a shot away, but it goes behind the goal. Mark playing it back to James. James plays at the car. There's space on opposite side to Jack. Can they get a goal here? Jack all the way through and just hits it wide there. And you have to say that has been the story of this game for Rapid Viennetta. When they've had opportunities like that, they just haven't been able to take them. As the chance for Jack once again in front of goals, it nicks off of Sean and it goes straight into the goalkeeper's hands there. Ball in the Fatburn Rovers half of the pitch into that dead camera angle corner there. The ball is picked up by David. David to Mark. Mark denied a fourth by the outstretched leg of Ross there. And Mark, who's away wandering over to the side. There's now space for Fatburn Rovers. Now James in front of goal, just hits wide there of the goal. John goes to chase that ahead of David. And John's got the ball now. Can he play it in the middle? John goes himself, hits it off of James and goals. David plays it back. Full time there, 9-3 to Fatburn Rovers. Game number 10 here at Season 9, Week 6 5 football sees Flaberdeen versus Scrandinavia. Flaberdeen in blue shooting left to right and Scrandinavia in red shooting right to left. Both these teams at the wrong end of the table, and results over previous weeks have not been going this way. So this is a vital match for both these teams to pick up points, as Barry makes a save early and Jamie just hits wide of the goal in this game. And Barry will collect, thankfully, for Scrandinavia as he looks to try and get his team underway. Chop of the chance, tries to dink it over, and unfortunately it's landed behind the goal. No opportunity there for a second chance, and you should have thought he should have hit that a bit lower rather than trying to chip the goalkeeper there with the size of these goals. As Chris has a chance in front of goals, but Zach is down early to make the save there. Good goalkeeping from Zach on this occasion. And unfortunately for Chris, he can't hit the back of the net. So Scandinavia with the early opportunities here, but unable to convert them as the ball gets played all the way back to Barry. Barry plays it to Chris now. Chris with the ball at feet looks to find Chopper, but eventually is intercepted by Sean. Sean now has time and space, and Sean converts the opportunity there. Shot from distance into the top corner there. Nice little touch there from Sean to get it under control, and on the turn there, hits it very quickly and then puts it into the back of the net there to make it 1-0 to Flaberdeen in this game, and they'll be delighted to be in this pole position. Remember, Flaberdeen at the bottom of the league here. They've been a bit cut adrift over previous weeks, and so this is maybe a golden opportunity. They only just missed out on getting something away from the Fatburn Rovers game earlier, who are top of the league, so they'll be looking for something here as Lewis takes a shot, and the save there from Zach, and now Sean has the opportunity to come forward to Johnny. Johnny almost couldn't quite get the pass, but the ball is loose and Sean's got it, and Sean slots it away, and after a mix-up in the Scandinavian defence there, Flaberdeen have got themselves a second goal in this match. You see Chris and Mike, neither of them getting the ball under control, and then they're turning and looking at each other while Sean just goes and puts it into the back of net. Calamity there from the players. Not quite on the wavelength this week, and they've been punished. But Chris is all the way through here, and Zach with the big save there. Looked like it could have been an instant reply there, but not so. And the ball goes all the way up to the other end, and the save there from Barry. End-to-end stuff here. Flaberdeen looking like their team of Commissioner on loan players are linking well in this match. Ryan to Chris though, and the save there from Zach, and Ryan can't quite get another shot away there. Sean backheeling now to Johnny. Johnny all the way through, and eventually it's taken away, and Chopper now wins the ball, and Chopper trying to get past Jamie, does so past Sean, only has Josh now, he's going himself, still going, can he finish? On the save from Zach, and no one in Scandinavia there to pick up apart from Chris, who picks up the ball and plays it all the way back to Mike there. Mike to Chris. Chris now loses it out to Josh, all the way through to Johnny. Johnny back to Josh, and there is a goal from one end to the other in this match from Flaberdeen. The chance there at the other end, and it goes all the way up to the Scrandinavia half, and little 1-2s there, and Josh slots that away to make it 3-0 to Flaberdeen in this half. Scrandinavia torn open once again, as Mike looks to play that ball to Lewis. Eventually does, and Lewis switches the ball across to Ryan as they look for options. 3-0 now for Flaberdeen. They will be looking just to hold on to this lead and walk away with some vital points that will get them right back into the league table. As Chris plays the ball to Mike. Mike plays it to Lewis. Good position from Lewis. Can Lewis convert here? Zach on the edge of his box. Great goalkeeping there to deny Lewis a chance to get a goal in this game. Chris looking to find Ryan, but it takes a touch off of Johnny, unfortunately, for Scrandinavia. And Chris comes back across, but Ryan goes solo himself, tries a Rabona, and just hits wide of the goal there. That would have been a sensational goal if he had converted that there. Johnny receives the ball and now looks to play it forward to Josh, but it's blocked out by Mike. Good defending there as Ryan finds Lewis. Lewis playing it back to Ryan. Can Ryan get the goal here? Yes, he can. And Scrandinavia are back into this match. 3-1 now, the scoreline. Lewis receiving that ball, time and space for Ryan to run into there, which he does, and then gets that shot away, which will do Scrandinavia the world of good after they've witnessed the majority of their shots being saved by Zach. A few going wide of goal, of course, but Zach doing some expert goalkeeping to keep Flaberdeen into this as Ryan and Sean up into the corner there, and then Sean comes out on top. The shot just goes wide of the goal. Barry looking to scoop it out to Chris there. Chris has lost the ball though, and Sean with the shot, and Barry with the save there after Chris unable to get that ball under control there. Chris looks to try and get this ball at the edge of the box. Zach back of the foot there, no look save, and now Flaberdeen come forward and the shot is saved there from Ross as Barry picks up that ball, and Scandinavia could have been further behind there if it not been for the goalkeeping from Barry there. Chris now with the ball at field looks to play through to Ryan. Ryan takes the shot, and Zach with the save. And you have to say as well, Flaberdeen have to thank Zach for some great goalkeeping to keep him in this game as the ball's up in Scandinavia half. Jamie there with a shot, hits one post, and it hits off another and doesn't cross the line, and the scoreline remains 3-1. And Scrandinavia there could not believe their luck and thought they were going to be 4-1 down. Jamie thought he'd scored, but unfortunately for him, no ball crossing the line for him as it remains 3-1 in this match. Flaberdeen coming forward now. They look like the team that are going forward to score again. Ryan still the ball at feet. Looks to scoop it through. Bounce off of Jamie. Jamie with a shot. Lands into the hands of Barry. And Barry quickly out to Chris. Chris now looking to find a teammate. Cuts in though. Goes himself. Continues to keep going. Can he play to Lewis? Lewis does. Back to Chris. Chris gets the shot away and the second goal, and it's 3-2 now. And there's now only one goal in it. But there is not long at all left in this match. Lovely little passage of play there between Chris and Lewis to find Chris on the edge of the box, and he slots that ball away. And we get the game underway. There's Josh with the shot, drags that wide, and Scrandinavia will look to try and get that ball under their possession, and they do. Barry gets it now, playing it to Ryan. Ryan looks to play the long ball up to Lewis, but eventually it lands into Zach's box, and he will look to kill some time as well as a substitution. And we're into the last bit of play here. Chopper on the pitch now as Johnny looks to come forward. Johnny coming forward now. Chopper's intercepted. Chopper through. Chopper's on his way. Can he play it to Lewis? He does. Can Lewis score here? Oh, the save from Zach. And that looks like that's the last bit of play in this game, and indeed it is. 3-2, Flaberdeen get the points. Game number 11 sees O.B City versus Bayern Bru. O.B City in black shooting left to right, and Bayern Bru in purple shooting right to left. Both these teams sitting around about the midway of the league table, and have both had some mixed results, although Bayern Bru have collected 2 wins already this week, so they'll be looking to round it off for the perfect 3. O.B City winning a loss, they'll be looking to pick up another win in this final game in order to help consolidate their position in the league. And in fact, both these teams sitting around about the same positions, fighting for the the positions of 3rd and 4th as Bayern Bru just go wide of the O.B City goal there. And O.B City look to get underway again. The ball out to Lenny. Stopped there by Gareth. Gareth now looking to make himself a little bit of space. Takes a shot on. Good save there by Stevie. And now Bayern Bru looking to get forward once again. Willie intercepting there on the far side up against Cheesy. Willie still has the ball though, looking for a teammate or looking to try and get the ball forward. A lot of his team are back here trying to offer options. Willie still has it. And there it goes to Lewis now. And Lewis down to Matthew. Matthew trying to cut in to find Lewis. Lewis with the shot. Lewis with the goal. And as mentioned earlier, where Goggs has left the opening there for someone in O.B City to step into, Lewis has stepped into that role perfectly there with the goals to help them pick up vital points and to get himself in a shout into this chocolate golden boot competition this season. A flurry of goals from Lewis this week so far, and his teammates will be delighted with his efforts so far this week, hoping for some more in this game though. Stevie looks to put the ball up. Ash, not quite sure that ball is, but eventually gets it over Lenny and then eventually gets it back to the goalkeeper. So 1-0 the score line here. Only 1 goal difference. Bayern Bru looking to try and get back into this game quickly as Lewis with the shot. It just goes wide. They might hit the post. Second chance there from Lewis. Craig saves, and then the third opportunity for O.B City goes high and over, but it's still in play into this dead camera zone here, and the ball bounces around. Still in play though, still on the edge there as Matthew collects. Few shouts going there. Matthew converts with the goal. Bayern Bru not happy. They feel that something else should be given here, so let's have a quick look. It's on the edge there. Matthew looks to collect it okay, still outside the box. Looks like he's made contact with the ball outside the box. That looks okay from my viewing, but the referee has said it is a goal, it is valid. That's all that matters. Doesn't matter about my opinion. And look at this, the game is over and done with for a long time at this point, and it looks like that it was a valid goal in any case. As Willie continues forward, rushing through. Ball tries to get a shot away, cannot make contact with the ball, and Bayern Bru get away with 1 there. So 2-0 now the scoreline. Gareth looking to push forward. Gareth coming forward with the ball. Can he get the shot away? Does so. It ricochets around and then lands at the hands of Stevie there. Unfortunately for Bayern Bru, couldn't get the shot away there. Now Bayern Bru coming forward, intercepted by O.B City. Lenny with a shot, powerful shot there, and Craig with a strong save, and eventually it stays in his box and he can get it under control. Their long ball played up to Martin there. Martin into the dead zone corner. Taylor gets the shot, and Taylor looking for his second goal this week, denied by the hands of Stevie in goals for O.B City there, unfortunately. And there is no second goal so far. Still plenty of time for Taylor to get involved in the action as Ash comes forward. Lovely feet. Ash with the shot. Save again by Stevie, and Taylor can't quite get on to the second ball there. Ball all the way back to the OB half, and it lands with Martin. Martin forward, looking for some help here. Looks to switch it across to Paul. Paul now with the shot, and it bounces off. And then the second attempt there from Martin doesn't quite get on target there. Cheesy now, ball at feet, looking to cut into the middle of the pitch now for Bayern Bru, but eventually it's cut out and Paul will collect that. Cheesy now with a shot, and Stevie there with a great reflex save to deny Cheesy's shot from distance there. Bayern Bru flooding players forward in search of a goal here. They know they can get back into this if they can get one quickly. Gareth goes all the way through. Gareth, can he convert? He cannot. Stevie stands strong on the edge of his box there and collect. Now it's the turn of O.B City to come forward. Lewis playing it out wide. Lewis now again with the ball, and it just goes wide there. Matthew with the chance, and it's straight at Craig, who collects well for Bayern Bru there. And now Bayern Bru back up into the O.B City half with Martin. Martin trying to find a player. Gareth has the ball at feet, looks to play around. Oh, and he just cannot get it there. Some great rollback cutbacks to try and get the goalkeeper to commit, but he couldn't quite dink it over the goalkeeper who'd already committed onto the ground, and it does not convert into the goal. Last bits of play here as Bayern Bru look to come forward. Can they get a goal? No, Stevie denies them once again. Referee blows full time. 2-0 to O.B City. Final score. Final game of Week 6, Season 9 Fat 5 football sees Ivory Toast versus Parmesan Belgrade. Ivory Toast in yellow, shooting left to right, and Parmesan Belgrade in white, shooting right to left. So, last game of this week, both these teams looking, well, Parmesan Belgrade in second place, looking to try and get themselves close to first place. Fatburn Rovers is Martin with the chance early on there. It's saved, and Paul making a second save once again against Parmesan Belgrade. Ivory Toast, on the other hand, they are sitting about mid-table. They'll be looking to try and get points from this match in order to consolidate their position as they battle away with the likes of Bayern Bru and O.B City. But it's still 0-0 in this match, no goals yet, as Parmesan Belgrade look to come forward once again, and they try and get the shot away, and Paul with the save, and now the chance for Ivory Toast to break with Buther, but unfortunately doesn't come to anything there. The ball bounces off the backboard around the referee there as Jordan looks to play in the middle. Backboards there, plays it back in, and Paul with an incredible save there, a second save against Paddy there, unbelievable stuff there. Callum now with the shot, third save from Paul as he scrambles to get up, and it shoots wide from Jordan, and eventually Paul collects that ball and just takes a breather and a minute to calm things down there. Bit of a battle going on the opposite side there, but eventually the ball lands all the way back to Chucky, and now Stuart will look to get forward with Parmesan Belgrade. Stuart, long ball up to Callum there. Callum looking to get that ball under control, takes the shot off the boards, and now Paddy hits the back of the net after some incredible goalkeeping from Paul early on in this game. Callum using the advantage of the backboards there. Paddy getting in front of David, getting there in front of him, and then getting the shot away, and Paul unable to get into position to make the save. And that is the opening goal in this match. 1-0 to Parmesan Belgrade in this game. And it's Ivory Toast that find themselves behind early on in this match. Liam trying to get that ball under control, but eventually Paddy is the winner of collecting that ball. Plays it out to Jordan, who's got David for company now. Jordan looking to find a teammate, and he stalls the ball there, waiting for a runner. A little bit of a dummy here, and eventually is forced all the way back. Does have Stuart for company there, but Callum's making that run. Eventually the ball goes all the way through to Callum, and Mark will go and collect that ball for Ivory Toast safely, and it's into the dead zone with the camera, but we can see it landing with Paul now. Quick ball out, but it's intercepted by Jordan, and Jordan gets the shot away, and unfortunately for Ivory Toast, when it looked like they were about to start a counter-attack there, with the ball played out by Paul, David not quick enough onto the edge of that ball. No one with a shout to say that Jordan was coming in behind, and Jordan wins that ball and slots it away past Paul in goals. And an error there from Ivory Toast leaves them punished and conceding a goal. So 2-0 to Parmesan Belgrade. Let's look to come forward once again. Mark with a great block, but eventually Stuart still wins it, but it doesn't come to anything there. Chucky in goals for Parmesan Belgrade, and Paddy helping him out as the ball goes across Edgeby's box and finds Callum in space. Callum driving forward, can Callum get the shot away? Saved there from Paul, and it bounces out for Ivory Toast to collect. Jordan with a bit of a weak shot there, and Paul saves that easily, and now Mark for Ivory Toast. The man making his debut all the way forward. Can he get a goal? Chucky with the save, and eventually it bobbles out of the box there. David with a shot now up against Chucky, but Chucky making the save there, and eventually there's a goalkeeper swap here for Parmesan Belgrade, and now with the players clear of the box they can get going as Chucky's made a run forward here. Long ball up to Chucky, controls on the chest, over Mark. Can he get the shot away here? Yes he can. Brilliant stuff there from Chucky. A moment ago, goalkeeper making the save, and then straight afterwards dinking that ball over Mark, and then one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and he puts it away there. And you'd maybe have to say, actually, looking at Paul's feet, if he hadn't have scored that, there might have been a shout for the penalty there with the goalkeeper coming at the box, but it did not matter anyway. Chucky got the goal, and Parmesan Belgrade are 3-0 up in this match, but David's intercepted the clearance there from Callum in goals. And now Ivory Toast have a chance here with the ball in possession, but it's lost there, and Jordan's got the ball, and Jordan's on the run, and Jordan takes the shot. It's saved. Secondary chance here, and it's over the goals there. Is there a third chance here? There is, and it's gone high once again, and Ivory Toast now will collect the ball. David now looking to find Greg. He's got players for company, and he can't get the shot away there, and Parmesan Belgrade will look to calm things down once again. Chucky now looking to find a player, finds Paddy in the middle of the pitch there. Paddy has got options both back and front there. Paddy looks to scoop it over to Chucky. Chucky through and on goal, and the ball is played through and almost an own goal there, but eventually it is collected by Paul. Liam plays it to David. David now looks to play in Liam. Liam's got a bit of space here. Liam with the goal, and Ivory toes back into this match. And I think all the absolute frantic play of this game over the last couple of moments needed everybody to take a bit of a breather. Remember, our boys are definitely not athletes. As much as they will show huge levels of dedication, determination and effort there, they will get tired with all the running, and I think it's kind of hit everyone there. And to be honest, it's hit me a bit as well in the commentary. 3-1, and it's been absolutely breathless stuff so far from both these teams. An absolute fitting way to end the week as we see Paddy coming forward, and the save there from Paul once again, and the secondary save, and a third save there as the ball stays in the box there, and eventually Paul will collect that ball. David now receives the ball. David waiting for the runners, holding it up a little bit, tries to get past Chucky but unable to. Chucky coming forward now. Chucky plays it out to Jordan there, and Jordan goes into the camera dead zone, looking to come out with the ball. As he does, gets past the referee there, does his best to move out of the way. Jordan still has the ball though. Jordan with a shot, and then Paul eventually saves it there. David now with Liam. David has a chance there to play Liam. Bounce off a Paddy. Oh no, it's an own goal from Paddy. The ball bounced off the backboard there. It looked like Paddy's going to play that back to Callum, and it goes in the back of the net. The ball just bounced off that. Paddy gets under control. Callum not quite quick enough to get into that corner, and Paddy slots it in the back of the net, and Ivory Toast, out of completely nowhere, now have the opportunity to get back into this game. 3-2 the scoreline. You can see a little bit of energy in Ivory Toast there. Chucky holding off David as David tries to win that ball. Chucky using his strength well and eventually plays it into Paddy. Paddy has the on-rushing Liam for company there, and eventually cuts back to find a teammate. Paddy slots that through to Chucky. Chucky does get it there. Eventually goes back to Paddy, and Paddy just shoots high there. And Paul will collect for Ivory Toast as they look to get started once again. Paul plays it to David. David now takes a little cut in there. David plays it across to Liam. Liam with a shot, and Ivory Toast, after being 3-0 down in this match, have brought it back to 3-all. A lovely cutback there from David. You can see the pace. Both players rolling away there or sliding away there from the ball, and then Dave's the first one there, plays it into Liam, and it's all square once again. And you've got to say that turning point could have been that unfortunate own goal from Paddy there. Complete mistake there, and it might come back to bite and haunt Parmesan Belgrade as they look to get forward once again. A little bit of a collision on their side. Players shaking hands and helping each other up, which is good to see the sportsmanship over there. Parmesan Belgrade though take the free kick quickly. David's intercepted though. Can David get the shot away? Save there from Callum. Booth are now with the chance. A secondary save there, and eventually the ball is cleared there. The players are okay there as Liam collects the ball, and Callum with another save, and Ivory Toast with their tails up now as Paddy collects the ball, and the shot there, and it's in, and Paddy makes up for the own goal earlier on by getting a fourth goal here and putting Parmesan Belgrade into the driving seat there. Greg unable to get a touch of the ball as it came past him there, and then Paddy manages to get the shot away even though Liam comes across to try and put the block in, unable to get a touch on it, and it's 4-3 now in this match. Ivory Toast look to get things underway as they find themselves behind once again. Not long left in this match as Callum makes the save there to deny David a chance to get back into this game, and we enter the last bits of play of this match. Martin loses the ball there to David. David now has the opportunity. Can he get an equaliser here? David gets the shot. Callum with the save, and eventually Parmesan Belgrade get it back to their goalkeeper to slow things down. The ball played all the way, bounces off of Greg there. It's still out of play as Chucky rushes over to get it in front of Liam, but Liam collects that ball up against Chucky there. Chucky eventually wins the ball. Nice little turns here, but eventually David wins it. Liam tries to get past Chucky. He's bobbling around. Eventually the shot comes away and lands in the hands of Paul. Looks to get his team underway. David tried to get a touch there but couldn't, and it's still not in the box there. Referee decides that's enough. 4-3 final score to Parmesan Belgrade. And on screen for you now are the final results from the Week 6 fixtures, including those earlier high-scoring games between Parmesan, Scrandinavia and Ivory Toast and Scrandinavia. Looking at the league table, Fatburn Rovers now top 40, Parmesan Belgrade second 34, O.B City on third with 30, Bayern Bru move up to 4th on 29, Ivory Toast dropped into 5th on 27, Scrandinavia stay in 6th and 21, Rapid Viennetta 7th with 16, and Flaberdeen remain bottom with 15, but only 1 point behind Rapid. Fat Fives are delighted to offer sponsorship opportunities for local, national and international businesses. If you'd like to find out more about sponsorship opportunities, go to our website at fatfives.football/sponsor. Fat Fives football player registration is open and we're accepting new players to the league. Please head to our website fatfives.football to find the player registration form on our homepage. Don't forget to like and subscribe to make sure that you're notified of all the highlights for this upcoming season.